In this video, I will be talking about the fourth principle of family addiction engagement training. And they are sequential, these four principles. And this fourth principle is everyone can live beyond addiction. And so what do I mean by that? What is meant by this fourth principle, everyone can live beyond addiction? And essentially, what I want to say is that once they have gotten to this stage, family members are engaged. Ideally, everyone in the family is engaged in a change process individually and as a family. And they invite their loved one into a process. And whether their loved one comes into it or not, it's totally up to them. I really like to give people agency over their own life. Everyone wants agency over their own life. No one wants to be told what to do, for instance. Everyone living beyond addiction is everyone kind of going through the first three steps: family education, incremental family change, and incremental offers to their loved one. Everyone in some way or another is in a change process. Now, this isn't about everyone in the family being perfect. I really want to make that clear. This is about everyone in the family kind of going from this kind of understanding and meaning making about their loved one who's still in addiction to expanding out and looking at all these contributing factors that potentially have led to that loved one being in addiction. What's important here is for everyone in the family to know that they have had an opportunity to look at the situation differently. And that opportunity can challenge how they see their loved one. And family members can get set in black and white thinking, just see their loved one through one lens, because there's been trauma. There's been stressors. There's been arguments. They haven't ended well. And actually, they may have ended in a way where I'm never going to talk to you again. But when family members start to rethink their situation, things change. What might that sound like? And so I'm jumping here, a huge jump to what a family could do, and know that there's a lot of little points along the way. But what could happen is family members could each be in their own change process and come up with some variation of what I call a family recovery message. And it could end with the same ask, essentially. And it's like past, present, and future. And so here's an example. And I'll use it. George is the one who's drinking. Thank you, George. It's because of you, through your suffering, that I've identified something that I've always known about, which is how much there's hurt in our family, hurt that disconnects us from ourselves and deeper relationships with one another. And in my frustration with your addiction, I was able to recognize this within myself. And I want you to know that this didn't begin with you, and this didn't begin with me. It goes a long way back in our family. And maybe this is the generation that we can stop this trickle down. You're welcome to be a part of this change. I would love for you to be a part of this change. And I want you to know that we as a family, or other people in the family, have engaged in a healing process for us individually and as a family. And we would love for you to be a part of this process with us. And if you're ready right now, we want to have you. And if you're not, you know what? We're going to continue to love you until you are ready. That's a very different message. And it ends with an invitation that allows your loved one to come in, or it allows them to continue doing what they're doing. And imagine if that was said differently, the past and present part of it was said differently by different people in your family, but it acknowledged them as struggling, and it acknowledges you as having your own struggles with this. And I want to say that I think you are having struggles because you're trying to get your loved one help, and you've been trying to force it on them, I'm guessing, and it hasn't been working. What I'm suggesting here is a process. This isn't just a event that happens like a surprise intervention thing that happens in a day or a weekend or something like that. This is a process where you and your family get coaching to start making change and invite your loved one into that change. So everyone can live beyond addiction. That was the initial question that I'm trying to answer here.